Hey, welcome back to Jay Straight Up Reviews and more. Okay, so we're going to do a little review on the Santana Fuerza. If I'm saying that right, my Spanish is like non-existent. Now, I recently did one on the Santana Ligero. This thing kind of looks like a shrunken, a little bit smaller JBL Extreme 3. Awful. I mean, awful is a compliment. On that one, if I had to give it a scale of 0 to 10, if you get a quarter of a point for powering on and a quarter of a point for connecting to Bluetooth, it would get a total of 0.75 out of 10. Not even 1. It was awful. One of the worst speakers I've heard in a long time. This one here on Amazon, they say it's 40 watt. As you can see on that box back there, it says it's 20 watts, 8,000 milliamp hour battery. It says up to 24 hours of playtime. I have a hard time believing that. And it does have TWS, where you can pair two of them wirelessly together. And it's IPX5, I believe. Yeah, IPX5. So you can't get it wet, but don't submerge it. So I've seen a speaker. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. There's a cheap Chinese speaker that has the exact same lights and design. It's probably just rebranded. This is. But there's your controls. I'm not even going to go over too much of this. This thing's and it weighs hardly anything. I mean, this thing is super lightweight. That's always a bad sign. Back behind the flap here, you have a 3.5 millimeter jack, USB-C. This does charge a USB-C. The other one was micro USB, and it has a micro SD card slot and a USB-A jack. So at least it's USB-C, and it has passive radiators. And much like the other one, when you get some really bass-heavy music, you can put your finger on this and it just barely vibrates. So they're more or less props. Now this thing, for some reason, the little base that it sits on, as you can see, and this flap is really cheesy too. I wouldn't count on that to seal nothing. This little base it sits on is really, and the thing kind of is a little bit front heavy, so it's very unstable. So if you had this sitting on something up high or something, you didn't want it to fall off, you better put something underneath here, because this thing is unstable. So this was $50 on Amazon. Not a chance is this worth $50. I actually bought this during the Amazon Prime days from Walmart. This is the old Select Pro from Soundcore, $40. We'll do a little comparison here in a little bit. This thing smokes that thing. I mean, it smokes it up like a blunt, and it's not even close. So we're going to do a little demo of this first, so you can get an idea what it sounds like. Alright, so put your headphones on if you have them. You may want to avoid them though, if this thing sounds that bad. This is at 40% volume. This doesn't have any EQ adjustments or anything. %. Show you some light modes. Lights are real cheesy. Change track. Let's go to 80% volume. Some of the worst light modes I've ever seen on a speaker. Change track. Okay, so yeah, the speaker doesn't have hardly any bass. It has no deep bass whatsoever. Even the mid bass is very limited, and it has a kind of a bright sound to it. It's not as harsh to the ear as the Ligero was. The Ligero was awful. It was harsh and shrill. This one's not as bad, but this thing just has a very lopsided sound where it's just all mainly treble and a little bit of mid bass. But let's put it up against the Soundcore Select Pro and see what we got. Okay, so we're going to run the Soundcore and its Soundcore Signature, which is stock EQ. This does, of course, have app support, the Soundcore app, where you can make a custom EQ and make it sound even better. But just to keep it as fair as possible, we're just going to leave it in its default EQ. The bass boost up is on. So here we go, 40%. We'll start with the Santana Fuerza Rico Suave. Go up to 60%. Give Mr. Hand the shakes. Change track. Let's go up to 80%.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take. Give it 100, don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not.
All right, so while that's playing there, you heard that. It's a warmer sound. It doesn't have the greatest amount of detailed clarity in the upper range. Let me change this really quick from its preset to custom EQ. So now we're on custom EQ for the Soundcore. And now let's see what it sounds like.
Working out, baby, it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity. And it's mind over everything.
All right, let's go. We'll stick it at 80%. Yeah, it's got a vibration in it. Yeah. Let's go up to 100%. Still 100%. Back down to 60%. barely got that one off. So yeah, this Fuerza is a terrible speaker. As you heard, if you got something that's got some bass to it, when you get up to higher volumes, it starts getting like an internal rattling inside it. It has no bass, and it's shocking that it does that because it doesn't have any bass. It's almost like bass free. Like, you know, you want to get a sugar-free drink. This is like a bass-free speaker. It's just bad. I mean, it's not quite as bad as that Ligero. Like I said, that Ligero would probably get a 0.75 out of 10. I'd probably give this Fuerza a 1.5 or a 1.75 out of 10. It's just a bad speaker all around. The Soundcore was $40. That was $50. It doesn't take, even Joe Biden could figure out which is the better deal there. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And maybe even Kamala Harris. She's as dingy as he is. Like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Do it today. It's free. Costs you nothing. I guarantee this channel is always worth every bit of nothing. What do you think of that? Where's the Mr. Hand? Oh my gosh, he just died, I think. He went to go get the bottle. We'll catch you guys at the next one. That's a wrap.